I'm Stella, and my life with Marcus was supposed to be a flawless masterpiece, a glittering marriage built on 8 years of trust and allure. But beneath the surface of our perfect world, hidden in the shadowy depths of his exclusive wine club, the Crimson Vault, I stumbled into a night that shattered everything I thought I knew. Picture this: descending into a candlelit cellar, the air thick with secrets, where 13 mysterious men waited, their eyes locked on me with an intensity that burned through my carefully crafted facade. My heart raced as I stood at the center of their gaze, caught in a web of forbidden tension, orchestrated by the man I thought I knew best. What happened next changed me forever. Can you guess the dark truth I uncovered in that hidden vault? Picture this: a world carved from whispers and shadows, where every step echoes with secrets I haven't yet uncovered. My name is Stella, and at 34, I've built a life that gleams like polished glass, beautiful to behold, but sometimes just as fragile. I'm married to Marcus, a man of 38 whose very presence commands a room. With his sharp green eyes that seem to pierce through facades and a wardrobe of tailored suits that fit him like a second skin, he's the kind of person you can't look away from. A restaurateur by trade, Marcus doesn't just create meals, he crafts experiences, moments that linger on the tongue and in the mind long after the last bite. We've been bound together for 8 years, a partnership woven with threads of deep understanding, though not without its tangles. There are days I feel like I'm navigating a labyrinth with him, unsure of what lies around the next corner, yet unable to turn back. Marcus's latest obsession is a place called the Crimson Vault, a private wine club hidden beneath one of his most upscale restaurants in the pulsing heart of the city. I can still recall the first time I descended those narrow, winding stairs into the ancient cellar. The air was cool, almost biting, as if the stone walls themselves exhaled a forgotten chill. Those walls, rough and dark, seemed to hum with history, their crevices hiding tales of centuries past. Overhead, heavy wooden beams loomed like silent sentinels, and the space was draped in plush velvet curtains of deep burgundy, rich as the wines that lined the shelves. Candlelight danced in the dimness, casting flickering reflections across rows of bottles, each one a mystery waiting to be uncorked. Marcus has a saying he repeats with a mischievous glint in those piercing eyes of his: "Every drop in the vault has its own story." He says it like a promise, a challenge, as if daring you to sip and uncover the truth hidden within. In his world, I've often played the role of the perfect companion, elegant, poised, a smile fixed in place at every event, every gala, every late-night gathering of influential strangers. I stand by his side, the owner's wife, a title that fits like a tailored gown, beautiful but sometimes constricting. I've mastered the art of small talk, the delicate laugh, the knowing nod, but beneath it all, there's a restlessness stirring in me. It's a quiet ache, a longing for something beyond the polished surface of this life. I don't yet know what I'm searching for, but it's there, gnawing at the edges of my thoughts, whispering to me in the still hours of the night when the city outside our window hums with its own secrets. I've spent countless evenings in the Crimson Vault, watching Marcus weave his magic among the elite who flock to his exclusive haven. I've seen the way their eyes light up when he speaks of rare vintages, the way they lean in, captivated by his charm. And I've felt the undercurrent of something deeper in those gatherings, something unspoken that lingers in the air like the aftertaste of a bold vintage. Tonight, though, feels different. As I drive through the city toward the Crimson Vault, the late evening wraps around me like a velvet cloak. The lights of downtown streak past in a blur of neon and gold, reflecting off the windshield as my grip tightens on the steering wheel. My stomach churns with a cocktail of anticipation and nerves, a fizzy mix that bubbles up and threatens to spill over. I'm wearing the sleek black dress Marcus chose for me, the fabric hugging my curves in a way that feels both empowering and vulnerable. The heels I've paired with it are sharp, clicking with purpose in my mind even before I step out of the car, each imagined sound a reminder of the path I'm about to tread. I park near the restaurant and make my way to the discreet back entrance, the cobblestone path uneven beneath my feet. Every step echoes in the quiet alley, the click of my heels a staccato rhythm against the night. The air is crisp, carrying the faint scent of rain on stone, and I pull my coat tighter around me before pushing open the heavy door. The narrow, winding staircase to the cellar awaits, and as I begin my descent, the atmosphere shifts. The air grows cooler with each step, heavier somehow, laden with the rich, earthy scent of aged wood and the tangy hint of fermented grapes. It's as if the walls themselves are breathing, exhaling secrets I can't yet decipher. The faint murmur of voices drifts up from below, accompanied by the delicate clink of glass, a prelude to whatever awaits me at the bottom. When I finally step into the vault, the scene before me steals the breath from my lungs. 13 men, a spectrum of ages and demeanors, sit around a long, polished wooden table that gleams under the warm glow of countless candles. They're all dressed in dark, tailored suits, the kind that speak of power and precision, each one holding a glass of deep red wine that catches the light like liquid rubies. The room falls into a hush as I enter, the weight of their collective gaze pinning me in place. My heart stumbles in my chest, caught by the intensity of their stares, a mix of curiosity and something darker, something I can't name. I notice an older man first, his silver hair catching the candlelight, his stern jaw set in a way that suggests he's seen and judged more than most. Then there's a younger man, his sly smirk curling at the edges of his lips, his piercing blue eyes glinting with a mischief that feels almost predatory. Another sits apart, brooding in silence, his dark gaze fixed on the wine in his glass as if it holds answers I'm not privy to. And there, at the head of the table, stands Marcus, the cut accentuating his strong build, highlighting his commanding presence. I stand there, rooted to the spot in the dim glow of the crimson vault, the air thick with a tension that presses against my skin like a living thing. The silence is suffocating, broken only by the faint flicker of candlelight and the steady thrum of my own pulse in my ears. Marcus steps back, his sharp green eyes locked on mine, a silent signal that I'm the center of this enigmatic gathering. I feel the weight of every gaze in the room, 13 pairs of eyes boring into me, peeling back the layers of the poised facade I've worn for so long. My mind scrambles for understanding, confusion swirling like a storm inside me. But there's no time to grasp it before the scene shifts. The older man with silver hair, the one whose stern jaw seems carved from years of hard decisions, rises from his seat. His movements are slow, deliberate, almost reverent, as if he's approaching something sacred. My breath catches as he nears, and when he places a hand on my shoulder, the warmth of his touch seeps through the thin fabric of my black dress, grounding me and unsettling me all at once. I freeze, my body a statue under his grip, unsure whether to pull away or lean in. Then Marcus's voice slices through the stillness, calm and commanding. Begin. The single word reverberates in the cavernous space, and my heart lurches, racing as I turn my gaze to him, desperate for an explanation. But his face is a mask, unreadable, a blend of pride and something darker, something that twists in my chest like a blade. Before I can process it, the younger man with the sly smirk stands and steps forward. He leans in close, too close, his breath warm against my neck as his fingers trace a slow, deliberate path along my collarbone. A shiver ripples down my spine, unbidden, and I'm caught between recoiling and the strange pull of his audacity. Then the brooding man, the one who'd been lost in his glass of wine, moves with a quiet intensity. He kneels before me, taking my hand in his, and presses a lingering kiss to my knuckles, his lips firm and warm, the gesture heavy with unspoken intent. My mind reels, fragments of thought crashing together until the shocking truth slams into me with brutal clarity. This isn't just another social event, not a performance for Marcus's elite circle. This is something else entirely. A carefully orchestrated betrayal, a ritual of intimacy with these 13 strangers. And Marcus isn't just allowing it. He's guiding it, shaping it with every word and glance. My chest tightens, a storm of emotions raging within me. Shock numbs my edges, fear coils tight in my gut, and yet, beneath it all, there's a forbidden thrill, a dangerous current that I can't ignore. I'm no longer hiding behind the role of the owner's wife, no longer cloaked in elegance and restraint. I'm here, fully present, raw and vulnerable, stripped bare in ways I never anticipated. Each moment stretches into eternity as the procession continues, each man taking his turn, their gestures distinct, each interaction a brushstroke on the canvas of this surreal night. One by one they approach, their touches varying from gentle to bold, each leaving an imprint I can't shake. The weight of guilt presses down on me, heavy as the stone walls around us, but I live each second fully, caught in the intensity of it all. Marcus remains at the head of the table, a conductor of this dark symphony. His voice is steady, unwavering as he directs the pace. Next, slower. His words are a command, and the room obeys. Then, with a tone that sends a chill through me, he instructs, "Look at her, remember her like this." His gaze never wavers, and I see it then, the strange satisfaction in his eyes, not anger, not jealousy, but something deeper, something possessive and proud. It unnerves me, yet I can't look away, trapped in the web of his control and the unfolding reality before me. One man, with a voice low and rough, leans in to whisper something in my ear. I can't make out the words, but the intimacy. As the last of the 13 men steps back, I'm left standing there in the center of the crimson vault, my breath shallow, my skin prickling with the echoes of their presence. This final man, a quiet, unassuming figure, lingers just a moment longer than the others. His gaze is gentle, almost tender, but it carries a weight that pierces through the haze of my emotions. His eyes hold mine, searching, as if he sees something in me I don't yet understand myself. When he finally turns away, I feel a strange mix of exhaustion and vitality coursing through me, like I've been drained to my core yet somehow reborn in the same breath. The room around me is heavy with silence now, the kind that presses down on you, thick and unyielding. The air is saturated with the lingering scent of rich wine and the unspoken weight of everything that just transpired. It clings to me, wrapping around my senses like a shroud. I shift, my legs trembling beneath me as I rise from the high-backed chair that had become my anchor through this storm. My hands move instinctively to smooth the fabric of my black dress, a futile attempt to reclaim some semblance of control, to piece together the composure that's been shattered over the course of this night. The men, one by one, return to their seats at the long, polished table, their movements slow, almost ritualistic. I catch their expressions in fleeting glances. There's a reverence there, a quiet respect, but also something else, something I can't quite pin down. Is it admiration, awe, or something more complex? Something that mirrors the tangled mess of feelings churning inside me? Their eyes don't linger on me now, but I feel the imprint of their gazes, like invisible marks on my skin. Then I see Marcus. He's still at the head of the table, but now he's moving toward me, his steps measured and deliberate, each one echoing in the cavernous space. There's a stillness in his posture, a calm that contrasts sharply with the chaos in my mind. He extends his hand, and I hesitate for just a heartbeat before placing mine in his. The warmth of his touch is familiar, grounding, but there's a new layer to it now, something unspoken and intricate weaving through the connection. It's as if the events of this evening have shifted something fundamental between us. and I'm not sure if it's a fracture or a forging. His grip is firm, steadying me as he leads me away from the table, away from the weight of those 13 pairs of eyes. We pass through a side archway, the cool stone brushing against my arm, and ascend a short flight of steps. Each step feels heavier than the last, my heels clicking softly against the worn surface, the sound a quiet reminder of my own presence in this surreal aftermath. We emerge onto a small private terrace overlooking the city, and the cool night air hits me like a wave, sharp and bracing against my flushed skin. It's a stark contrast to the stifling heat of the cellar below, and I draw in a deep breath, letting it fill my lungs, hoping it might clear the fog in my mind. The terrace is intimate, almost secluded, framed by a wrought iron railing that's cold to the touch when I brush my fingers against it. Below us, the city sprawls out in a tapestry of flickering lights, a sea of amber and white against the dark canvas of the night. It's beautiful, distant, a world apart from the one I've just endured. On a small table beside us, a single candle flickers, its flame dancing in the gentle breeze, casting a soft, wavering glow over 2 empty wine glasses that wait like silent sentinels. The scene feels staged, deliberate, as if Marcus planned every detail of this moment just as meticulously as he orchestrated the events downstairs. He releases my hand and moves to the table, his movements smooth, almost too calm for the storm I feel brewing inside me. I watch as he picks up a bottle of wine, the glass so dark it's nearly black in the dim light, the deep red liquid inside catching the candle's glow as he tilts it to pour. The sound of the wine filling the glasses is soft, almost hypnotic, a gentle trickle that seems to pull me out of the whirlwind of my thoughts. I stand there, rooted to the spot on this quiet terrace, watching Marcus as he carefully sets the bottle down. The candlelight catches the sharp angles of his face, illuminating the strong line of his jaw, the subtle furrow of his brow, and for the first time tonight, I see something unexpected in his eyes, a flicker of vulnerability, a crack in the impenetrable armor he always wears. It's fleeting, but it's there, and it stops me cold, my breath hitching as I try to decipher what it means. He turns to me, one of the filled glasses in his hand, the deep crimson of the wine shimmering like a dark promise. He steps closer, his gaze steady but softer now, and extends the glass toward me. My fingers brush against his as I take it, the contact sending a quiet jolt through me, a reminder of the connection that still binds us despite everything. His voice, when he speaks, is low and steady, carrying a weight that seems to settle into my bones. "You were the best event this club has ever had," he says, and the words hit me like a tidal wave, crashing over the fragile barriers I've been trying to rebuild in my mind. I'm stunned, frozen in place, the glass cool against my palm as the meaning of his words sinks in. He doesn't see what happened downstairs as a betrayal, not as something to be ashamed of or hidden away. No, to him, it was a performance, a masterpiece meticulously crafted with me at its very heart. My mind reels, trying to wrap itself around this perspective, so different from the storm of guilt and confusion I've been battling. I search his face, looking for any hint of deception, but there's none, just that raw, unguarded honesty that I've rarely seen in him. He steps closer still, the space between us shrinking, and continues, his voice a quiet rumble against the backdrop of the city's distant hum. "The Crimson Vault isn't just about wine, Stella. It's about stories, experiences, moments that linger long after the night ends. I wanted to create a legend, something the members would never forget. And you were that legend." The air seems to thicken around me, each word carving itself into my consciousness. A legend. Me. I feel the weight of it, heavy and strange, as if I'm holding something too vast to fully grasp. At first, there's shock, a sharp electric jolt that races through me, making my grip on the glass tighten. How could he see it that way? How could he transform something so raw, so intimate, into a story for others to remember. But as I stand there, staring into the depths of the wine, I begin to understand. Slowly, like the first rays of dawn creeping over the horizon, it dawns on me that this wasn't just about pushing boundaries or testing limits. It was about creating something unforgettable, something that would echo through the hallowed halls of the Crimson Vault for years to come. And I was the centerpiece, the beating heart of that creation. I lift the glass to my lips, taking a slow sip, and the rich, complex notes of the wine unfold on my tongue. Dark berries, a hint of oak, a whisper of something earthy and ancient. It's as if the taste mirrors the moment, layered and intricate, pulling me deeper into my own thoughts. A warmth spreads through me, not just from the wine, but from something else, something unexpected. Pride. It wells up inside me, unbidden, fierce, and I'm almost startled by its intensity. I was part of something extraordinary tonight, something that transcended the ordinary rules of our world. I played a role no one else could have, and I played it with every fiber of my being. I look up at Marcus, meeting his gaze, and in the flickering candlelight, I see him differently. Not just as my husband, the man I've shared countless quiet moments with, but as a creator, a director who saw me as more than a partner in life. He saw me as art, a living, breathing embodiment of his vision. There's a power in that realization, a newfound strength that courses through me. As I stand here on this quiet terrace with Marcus, the wine glass still cool in my hand, the night air brushes against my flushed skin, a soothing balm after the intensity of the cellar below. The city sprawls out before us, a glittering maze of possibilities, and I can't help but let my mind wander back through the labyrinth of this evening. Each of the 13 moments replays in vivid detail, like scenes from a film I didn't know I was starring in. The weight of every gaze, the warmth of every touch, the unspoken tension that wove through each interaction, it all comes rushing back, sharp and undeniable. I've crossed a threshold tonight, a line I can't step back over, and as I stand here, I feel the shift deep in my bones. I'm not the same Stella I was when I descended those stairs hours ago. I turn to Marcus, my voice steady for the first time tonight, cutting through the stillness between us. I'm glad I did it. The words hang in the air, simple but heavy with meaning. He looks at me, his sharp green eyes catching the flicker of the candlelight, and nods slowly, as if he expected nothing less from me. There's no surprise in his expression, just a quiet acknowledgement, a shared understanding of what this night has meant. He reaches for the bottle on the table, pouring himself a glass of that deep, crimson wine, the liquid catching the light as it flows. Then, with a subtle gesture, he raises his glass to me, a silent toast that speaks louder than words. I mirror the motion, the clink of our glasses a soft echo in the night, sealing something unspoken between us. This moment on the terrace is so different from the charged atmosphere of the Crimson Vault, yet it carries its own power. It's intimate in a way that feels almost fragile, the cool breeze and the distant hum of the city wrapping around us like a cocoon. There's no audience here, no weight of expectation, just the two of us standing side by side, processing the enormity of what just unfolded. The candle on the table flickers, casting a warm, wavering glow over his face, and I see the man I've known for 8 years in a new light. Not just my husband, not just the orchestrator of tonight's events, but someone who saw something in me I hadn't seen in myself. And in this quiet, I let myself admit the truth, not just to him, but to myself, and to anyone listening to this story. I want more. It's not just about the events of the Crimson Vault, though those moments will linger in my memory like the aftertaste of a rare vintage. It's about this feeling, this electric, intoxicating rush of being seen, truly seen, in a way I've never been before. It's about being desired, not just as a partner or a companion, but as something more, something primal and untamed. It's about being the center of a story, a tale that I know will be whispered about in hushed tones among the elite who frequent Marcus's hidden world. They'll speak of this night, of me, for years to come, and that thought sends a thrill through me, a hunger that I can't ignore. I've tasted something tonight, something beyond the wine, beyond the surface of my carefully curated life, and now I'm ravenous for it. I take another sip from my glass, letting the rich, complex flavors ground me as my mind races with questions about what this means for us, for Marcus and me. Our marriage has always been a dance of boundaries, a push and pull of trust and discovery, but tonight has stretched those boundaries further than ever before. Will we keep exploring together, diving deeper into this shadowy world of secrets and stories that he's built? Will we carve out more nights like this, each one a new chapter in a saga we're writing as we go? Or will this evening stand alone, a singular, unforgettable moment that we'll look back on as a turning point, a memory too potent to replicate? I don't have the answers, and for once, that uncertainty doesn't scare me. Instead, it fuels me. I'm not afraid of finding out where this path leads, no matter. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.